are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Golden Spotlight. I'm your host, Rob Flores, and it's another great week at California State University, Long Beach. Now, if this is your first time listening to the show, the Golden Spotlight is a show where I showcase a different individual each week and get them to share their story. At this time, I would like my guest to please introduce himself.
What's up, Rob? What's up, everybody? My name is Rafael Molina. So I say thank you for having me at the Golden Spotlight. Man, this is interesting. I'm very excited and honored to be here.
Cool. So, the first thing I like to do with my guests is I like them to talk about life growing up. What was it like? What was your childhood like? Did you grow up with siblings?
Yeah, well, I was a only child for about 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. Horrible with my brother's age. But yeah, I grew up alone, but I grew up with cousins, surrounded by cousins. Mom would drop me off at grandma's house, and we just raised hell in there. Grew up in a small town, man. A small town in West Texas named Socorro. If any of your listeners don't understand Spanish, it literally translates to help. I don't know why they would name a town Help, but they did. And that's where I'm from.
Cool. So, tell us about each school system. What was elementary like first? What were you like back then? What interest did you have in elementary?
Oh, man, you're going to test my memory here, Rob. Elementary school. I remember being a sort of smart kid growing up, in elementary. But then I was always getting harassed by my cousins, friends, like, oh, there goes a nerd, bookworm, all that stuff. So I wanted to be cool, so I started, not paying attention, ditching. Middle school, that's when I started getting a little wild, became a wild child. Before that, like I said, I was a nerd, got A's, like 1B, I would be sad. But, yeah, man, middle school, that's where the fun started. I started smoking marijuana at 13 in the very conservative state of Texas. So that was fun, man. That was fun. I never got busted in Texas, and like I said, since 13, got pretty good record. But middle school was fun. That's when I wanted to be a gangster, and I really liked rock and roll a lot. Wanted to kill myself, hormones, and. But it was fun, man. Middle school was fun. I realized then that I could never become a gangster. One, I'm too weak. Two, I don't have any friends. And I just don't like to fight. That's it. I believe in peace. So middle school, that was it, man. That's when I knew I was never going to like school. So high school came along, and my friends and I just ditched at any chance we could. We lived right behind so my neighborhood, my hometown was like a plantation town. It was they grew cotton behind my grandma's house. There's like cotton fields, a bunch of cotton fields. So going to school, we would walk through this canal, through these cotton fields. So between my house and school, there was a lot of chances to avoid an education, which we took every chance we had. Met up with a friend, man, that I hadn't seen since elementary. He was also a very smart kid in elementary, but when I met up with him in high school, he had turned into like a super gangster, bro. Like he had shaved his head, he had tattoos, he had a gangster name. I don't want to say it, even though miles, thousands of miles away, you never know. Come back and kick my butt. But yeah, man, so I met up with this kid, and I recognized him. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you in like 8 years. He's like, yeah, what's up, man? You smoke weed? I'm like, yeah. So he goes, here you go, man, you should buy some from me. And I was like, I don't have any money. So he went, here's a free sample. And then smoked his pot. Reunited with my best friend from elementary, now in high school. He didn't go to high school. He was just a gangster, lived in his grandma's house with his gangster cousin. I would just go visit him, try to be a gangster. I still wanted to be a thug, wanted to be a G. So I would go to their house, man. And one time, the gangster cousin asked me if I wanted to join their gang, and my dummy mind, my dumb self, tells him like, nah, bro, I'm part of a party crew, right? Trying to be all cool, and like thinking he was gonna be like, oh, you're part of somebody else. That's cool. Forget I even asked. No, man, total opposite, right? When I told him, like, no, I already belong to somebody else, he was like, what? What? You think you're better than us? And it got scary. Like, I panicked. I didn't know what, I was like, no, I'm not better than you, but you don't want me in your gang. I'm gonna ruin the flanks, man. They're gonna flank us. I'm gonna be there. They're gonna kick our butt. So luckily, my friend, his cousin, he defended me. He was like, yo, man, leave my customers alone. Like, I wasn't even, leave my friend alone. Like, no, hey, you're taking $10 per day out of my pocket here. This guy's a good pothead. He's a stoner. He comes here daily. Don't mess with my money. So that saved me from a good butt kicking and a life of crime, I would say. That was interesting. That was high school. I think that was high school. A lot of partying, a lot of drinking, a lot of not reading. Something I wish I should have done. Now I read, and it's fun. I never realized how much fun it is to gain knowledge until now. But man, high school, I didn't care about that. I thought that was gonna be a thug making money. I was gonna be a millionaire. With Cash Money Millionaires, bro. I was gonna be a rapper too. A gangster rapper, be legit. Want to come to the LBC, the 213, all those, everything I heard from the gangster rappers I wanted to be, but never had the courage or, again, the friends to do it. I never went to college. I walking through this campus and other campuses now as an adult, I wish I would have, taken the plunge into a higher education. It's feels so much fun, so social. I did go to a technical school, which just tells you that I never cared for my future. Uh, I did I studied, what did I study, man? I studied to be a mechanic. Something that I could have done on YouTube, bro. I got so upset, Rob, when I found out that even McDonald's has a university. How like heartbroken I was. Like, I could have been a burger doctor, man. Instead, I wanted to be a car doctor. And I failed at it miserably. One time I didn't try. I changed this person's starter on their car, mixed the wires, and 100 yards after they left, their car lit on fire. So that was the end of my mechanic days as well. But I'm better now. I am better. I help some friends fix their cars now, and trust me, I go step by step on whatever the YouTube tutorial tells me. So it's fun, man. I didn't. It's weird, man. It's weird that you would ask me. I don't know. I did not expect. And tell me about your childhood elementary. Give me a biography of your not so cool upbringing. But it was fun. I would go to Juarez every summer. Juarez, Mexico, now considered one of the most dangerous cities in the world. I would go there with my grandma, one of the sweetest people in the world that I've ever met. I would go there for summers, man, and I guess it was dangerous. My grandma would never want me to leave. I always found a way out. Avoided getting my butt kicked in Mexico a lot too. Thanks to my what I like to call comedic skills, or lack thereof. And I'll take pity, just not to get my butt kicked. I'll pretend I'm sick. I don't care. I'll start coughing on people. You may not be afraid of me, but you'll be afraid of my germs. I see, bro.
Just setting up for the commercial.
Okay. All right.
We'll be right back after this quick break.
So many cameras.
Get ready, because I'm tagging you in to tune into 22 West Radio every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, yeah!
As myself, Ralph Flores, James Williams, and Ethan Ortiz discuss everything related to the professional wrestling industry.
That was great! Yeah! Right to the kisser! Quiet, McMahon, I'm trying to watch this!
So don't miss a single episode of Beyond the Ropes.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Hey, I'm Rob Flores, the host of the Golden Spotlight. Join me every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific as I showcase a variety of guests.
Who was their last comedian here, bro?
Which was an exoneree.
Hi, I'm
JC
Carla
Cayenas.
Perez.
JC
Otherwise
Yeah.
known
Perez?
as Rita
Yeah.
Repulsa, Mighty Morphin
I've had Marty
Power
Wurst on the
Rangers
show.
television
Marty
series.
Wurst,
Yes.
People have told me
And,
before, like,
Jacqueline
you're really
Pissarro.
funny, you should try stand-up.
yeah.
And that's probably how every comedian starts.
Took an EMT course 6 months later.
Patrick, the comedian, he's returned to comedy. He was gone for like 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Every week, someone steps into the spotlight and shares their story. You never know what we have in store on 22 West Radio. 22 West. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Golden Spotlight, broadcasting live at California State University, Long Beach. You're listening to 22 West Radio. And I'm back here with my guest. So you mentioned traveling to Mexico and stuff. What was it like to travel out of state? You know, anytime that you get to experience going out of your own state, or is there anything different that stood out where you're like, wow, there's nothing like this in Texas?
Well, I don't know if you could call it out of state, man, because it's right next to each other, and it's you know, it's all full of Mexicans. It's all beautiful brown people on each side of the border, and it all does look the same. I will say this: on the side of Juarez in Mexico, there's a little town called they call it Napra. It's called Napra, and it's like the ghetto of Juarez, like the really rundown part. You can see it from El Paso. You can see, you know, how they build the houses out of cardboard and you know, cardboard sheet metal, things like that. So that's something you go and say, oh man, well, you know, we don't have that here. That thankfully, you know, you're grateful that you don't have that here in the Texas or the United States. Well, I'm pretty sure some people do, but you know, it's not like out there like that.
Cool. So, I also have what I refer to as like the timeline. It's like, you know, pretty much like the list of like jobs leading up to where you are today. How did you get to where you are in comedy? Well, what did it all start from?
On a list of jobs, man, I did them all. I did every job possible, I would think. I started working at 13 when I started becoming a bad kid because I got in a fight and they gave me a citation in middle school. So my parents said that I had to pay for it. I started working at an uncle's body shop, and I was their janitor, and that was probably the grossest, most disgusting job I've ever had. You know, I had to pick up after, you know, old dirty mechanic dudes that just like to drink beer all day and fart. So that was gross, man. Then I did the restaurants. I worked at this taco place in El Paso. That was horrible. I would just steal their beer. That was the best part about it, man. At the end of the shift, which is my buddy and I would just steal a 6-pack and buy a 30-pack from the gas station and party on. I got fired from there, obviously. Got caught. Then I did call centers, man, which are, you know, you're just in a cubicle. Everything's white or tan around you. There's no creativity. I would never do my job. You know, these customer service people that everybody complains about. You know, I get it. That was me. I didn't do my job. I would paint. I would draw. I had an easel next to my computer. I would literally move my workspace, my work stuff out of the way for my little paintings. And so I quit that, man. I quit that. Did construction, which was horrible. Because I didn't do it like, you know, how people do it in America. I almost did it like an illegal. Instead of using my American citizenship that I was born with, my rights. You know, because it was easier. You know, maybe I shouldn't say this on air, but getting paid under the table is a lot easier than filling out paperwork. So, sorry, Uncle Sam. I promise I'll pay you back there, buddy, soon. Hey, the golden spotlight. This is where it kicks off. So yeah, dude, I did that. Then I went back to call. Then I tried to be a mechanic, and then that's when I almost killed people. So then I went back to call centers because I figured the only thing I can destroy at this point is a computer. Then I was at the end of it, man. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do any. I didn't want to live. You know, I thought, is this it, man? This is all I can do with my life? Just call center after call center, like, just all this nonsense, and you know, just having to work for somebody else. Which, you know, regardless of whatever, you always have to work for somebody. But anywho, I was tired, man. My friend, my buddy saw that I was at the end of the line, and he started doing comedy before I did. So he suggested that I try stand up. You know, he said that when we hang out, when we talk, you know, he every time we would say something that would make him laugh, he would write it down and use it on stage. So basically, he was saying I was helping him write. So I did it, man. When it took me 3 months though. I got like, it took me a lot to finally muster up the courage to get up on stage. I even wrote out, you know, typed out my set. I thought it was gonna be hilarious. Had an abortion joke there. You know, I thought it was gonna be edgy. You know, become a star right away. So I went up. I finally went up at this place called the Pizza Joint in El Paso, Texas, and I got super duper drunk, and I smoked a lot of marijuana because I was very, very nervous. It didn't help. It didn't help because I don't remember what I said. But for 4 minutes, it was quiet, man. It was just me talking, you know, kind of like this. But then, I said something at the end. It just came, you know, it just came out. And whatever I said, that joke that I said at the end, got a huge laugh. Like, got a belly laugh from the crowd, which I felt like a wave. And that moment, I knew this is everything I want to do. I just want to go up and make people laugh. The next day. About a week later, I quit my job. Just told my supervisor I had a family emergency. When he asked me what it was, I said, look, man, I'm lying. Okay, I'm lying. It's not a family emergency. I just don't want to work here anymore. I found my calling. I found my dream. Gonna go be a millionaire in 30 days with this stand-up comedy stuff. And I'm still working on being a millionaire part and being a headliner. But I'm getting there, man. Been doing it for going on 8 years now. Love every moment of it, even the ones where when I say I don't. But everything, I love comedy, man. It's the one thing that I've had, like, you know, not to throw like a pity me party or you know, woe is me kind of deal. But dude, I've slept in my car. You know, I've had like. I haven't had anything to eat like in a couple of days, but dude, I will do it all over again for the times I've gone up on stage so far, for all the people I've met, all the comics that have helped me out throughout my career, you know, all the friends that I've made. Like, it's beautiful, man. I feel like I've grown more in these 8 years, not just as a comic, but as a human being than I ever did the prior 26 years of my life, man. This is a beautiful art form. Excuse me. I can't see myself not doing it. It's beautiful. Just clicking away.
It's because I got
you, bro.
2 commercial breaks, so I'm just getting it prepped.
You have 3 screens.
I know.
That's multitasking, and you're holding a phone in your hand.
Yeah, I'm doing I'm my own cameraman, and I'm also my social media, so I'm like getting several clips throughout the show to do an Instagram gallery post.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Flores for all your Instagram and social media needs. Here at 22 West Media.
We're going to take the other commercial break so that I don't have to keep looking at the screen too much.
Did you know that more than 20% of students on Cal State campuses experience food insecurity while in college? Cal State Long Beach is doing something to help that with the Beach Pantry, which is located on the 3rd floor of the Student Union in room 302 and is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Stop by. For
How long have you been doing
this
this show for, bro?
Well, when I started here at 2017, I transferred from Cerritos College, and at Cerritos, I was there for a long time, because I learned that.
We're not going to
I
bless the
couldn't do
Lord.
math.
Why can't
Cool.
I listen to
So,
beach sing?
I mean,
kept me there for a
well,
long time.
We switched
But you were
hours.
like the-
You can
the
listen
radio?
to Bless the
Yeah,
Lord
it
at 2
took
p.m.
me a
and you
while.
can listen to Beach Center reports and happy gospel music at 1 p.m. So after you listen to
So
some
because
boring
of your learning
reports,
disability,
come
you
listen to
just
Bless
said
the
just do
Lord.
radio.
Yeah,
Here
I
on
did everything
22
else,
West Radio
like
and
learning
22westmedia.com.
shows and stuff.
Have some fun.
Yeah, I was
Adios
like,
every
I
Wednesday.
like this.
Woo!
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Now, this is awesome.
And we are back here at California State University, Long Beach. This is 22 West Radio. You're listening to the Golden Spotlight Talk Show. And I'm back here with my guest. So, yeah, so what was it like, you know, you mentioned, you know, the struggles, you know, in the beginning, you know, trying to make it to get into comedy and stuff. And, you know, I like to think that you never know who could be listening, and chances are, you know, there's a person listening who they're like, this person, I could totally relate to them. Like, they're, you know, things that they're saying is like, I've been through this, and like, you know, I like to, you know, finding like someone's perspective that like I can relate to, that like they're doing the things that I want to do. They made it to the point where I want to be, and what tips do you have for people who have no experience whatsoever in comedy? Where do they start? Where do they, you know, go about starting a comedy career?
Well, where do you start? Just go up, man. See, I didn't even know that a regular Joe could do comedy. You know what I mean? Like, when I saw comedians like Eddie Murphy or George Carlin, you know, on their comedy specials, I thought that they got to do comedy because they were already in movies. You know, so I thought it was like the other way around. So I was like, I'll never be able to do that. Even when my friends started doing comedy before I did, I was like, this guy's crazy. He's not a movie star. Can't be a comedian. But little did I know, a lot of these movie stars, you know, or comedic movie stars, started off as comedians. So yeah, I mean, the best thing is to get up on that stage, you know, and just feel it. Maybe it's not for you, you know, but if it is, what a great experience to find out, you know, and what a horrible thing to not find out if that is something that you'd like to do, you know, because they do say it's you know, public speaking is like the number one fear that we all have. So, you know, to standing up there, you know, you know, even just saying one or two words, if you can get them out, you know that you were already better than not getting on that stage. But dude, it's beautiful. You know, just hanging around the comedy clubs, or you know, where I never hung around a comedy club in my hometown. We only had one, which I didn't even know about till I started doing stand-up comedy. So that's kind of sad, you know, that maybe now stand-up is more in the spotlight, you know, because of social media and the PC-ness or the anti-PC-ness of it all. But yeah, growing up, man, I wish I would have known more about stand-up itself. But now that I do, man, it's beautiful. I think you mentioned like if there's been people that I've met or you know, fans that I've met, and the answer is that hit my soul or that I really connect with, and the answer is absolutely yes, man. You know, and you meet those people that will be harsh with you, you know, but you need those people that will say like, oh, you're not that funny, or you got to work on that, or you think you're funny, you know, people that make you feel like you're not that good, but it pushes you to be better than what you are, man, and that's something that we all need, not just as comedians, but also as human beings, you know, somebody that can critique you. And we also need to have the ability to take that critique in, you know, because if I mean, people will tell you what to do right, and you keep doing it wrong. You're not. I don't know, man. You're not growing. You're not letting yourself uh, truly experience what is possible for you. You know, if you get stuck in your ways and the way you do things, and like, oh, like if somebody's too afraid to go up on stage, you know, how why would you deny yourself that opportunity to just experience the exhilaration, you know, the feeling of that adrenaline, man. It's just so cool. It just feels amazing. It's like a free roller coaster, like free drugs, you know. It's like, well, it's not free, right? Because you have to go up and give something of yourself, but it's amazing, man. And when you connect with people, yes, that is awesome. When people go up to you and say, "Ah, dude, you know that bit you have." Like for me, for example, some people, I have a bit about depression. You know that people come up to me and they're like, "Dude, the way you talk about depression, like that's so cool, man. It's so interesting." Or when I talk about religion, I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person, and I talk about that on stage, and people come up to me and they laugh at how I not mock religion, but compare it to gangs, you know, and make that comparison, and people relate to it because they see that both groups are trying to control you or whatever, you know. And so when you don't some people you don't even expect it from. I mean, I've had old white ladies tell me how much they love me making fun of religion, you know, and you would think that they're gonna be super extra conservative, you know. And at the same token, I've had like super cholo gang member looking dudes, man, come up to me and be like, "Hey, you shouldn't make fun of Jesus Christ, our Savior, bro." Like, dude, it's crazy. It's beautiful, man. You never know what you expect with comedy and talking to people, you know, trying to bring them all together. But like I said, it's fun, man, and meeting those people, man, those people that truly want to help you, you know, that because they say that, you know, entertainment business is a dog eat dog business, but there are good people out there, man. People that really want to see others succeed, you know, bring you know, the quote unquote youth up or whatnot, you know. So those people are awesome, man, because like older comedians, they're filled with a wealth of knowledge, man, that you can't get from anywhere else, man. You can't get some of this information from, you cannot get it from any books. You cannot get it from your teachers or priests, you know, or anything like that. You have to get it through people that have been through the fire of stand-up, of, you know, really putting their soul out on stage and you know, letting it burn, dude, with the lights and the judgment of the people, and then being resilient enough to you know, come out with your head up, walking tall. Like, yeah, dude, it's beautiful, man. With comedy, man, one thing that I started doing was listening to a lot of self-help books, you know, because I've been through comedy. A mentor of mine told me, you know, read books, bro, like grow your your knowledge bank. And most of the books that I've been reading have been about self-help, you know, or like look within kind of deal. And I like them, man, because you know, you need to look within to be able to do stand-up, and you got to show people your raw human form, you know, so that people can relate to you. Because if you know, I've learned this through my mentor and through, you know, trials and tribulations, man, that if you try to be phony on stage, or if you try to be somebody that you're not, the crowd's gonna pick it out, dude, and they're not gonna love you. They may like you, they may laugh at you, they may, you know, are with you, but they're not gonna love you. You know, they're not gonna feel you. They're not gonna be invested in you, and that is the hardest part about being a stand-up, is being yourself, not a comedian, and that is what I want to be, man. I want to be myself on stage, you know, and in life, you know, and I love that I found stand-up comedy, because I don't know how else I would have been able to better myself. I mean, definitely not burning people's cars, Definitely not stealing computers off of middle school when I was 13. Definitely not. Definitely not taking customer service calls at a call center, telling old lady Margaret to unplug her receiver for 10 seconds and plug it back in. Where could I find myself other than on stage, man, in front of all the judging eyes of the people in the audience, in front of my judging ears.
I think it's so cool. I've been interviewing comedians lately, and what I've noticed too is that, for someone that's never been to a comedy show, like, I didn't realize that there's different types of venues. Like Marty, I remember when I interviewed him, he mentioned that there's like one comedy place where it's like a laundromat, or another comedian that says that like there's like comedians that perform on like cruise ships and all these type of places.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so like, wow, like I didn't realize like all the different types of environments that you could be in, or for that matter, an audience member that gives you a hard time, probably the occasional drunk.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Dude, well, I mean, you talk about venues, man. You could have a comedy show really anywhere as long as you have a speaker. Man, you don't even need a speaker sometimes. You just need 2 people, 3 people that are there and willing to listen to you say some dumb stuff. Venues, man. I remember I've done comedy at a swap meet at like 2 in the afternoon. I've done comedy in people's backyards, some fancy backyard with a lake behind it, some other one not so fancy, but with lots of beer in it. So that was fun. Bars, man. There's so many bar shows, bar gigs, open. Oh, the worst. And for a lot of comics, those are the worst because that's where you get most of the drunks, the hecklers. It's at a bar, man. Bars have regulars. Regulars are there every day, and those people are usually not very happy with themselves or their lives. So the last thing they want to hear, is somebody on stage trying to tell them how their life sucks, when all they could think of is about how theirs is worse than yours, and how dare you, bother them at their spot at 8 p.m. on a Monday night. Damn it! I'm trying to get drunk and avoid my family here. How dare you bring this comedy show here? Get out! Those are tough, man. But I love them. I love bar shows because, it's a challenge of, in that case, it's a challenge of making those people, flip that switch, turn them around, and go like, oh man, I actually enjoyed coming to the bar today. What's wrong with me? But the best, of course, in my experience so far, the best has to be comedy clubs. Comedy clubs, it's where it's at, man. The name is in it. It's a club for comedy. You know where you're gonna get. It's comedy. You're gonna go laugh, and they treat comedians, like awesomely. These places, some will give you like refreshments, and snacks in the green room. What? I don't know. I get excited when I see like fun-sized Snickers on the green room. Even when I see the carrots and the celeries, like, yeah, man, I'm making it. Aquafina, for sure. Give me 2. Oh wait, no product advertisement. But yeah, man, I've only heard about the mystical cruise ship shows, man, and I've heard those are great, man. I have buddies that go on those cruise ship shows, and some of them like to complain, but I get it. You don't want to come back and tell your friend that's never been on a cruise ship, like, oh man, it's awesome, you gotta be there, dude. Why aren't you there? You suck, so I get it. They try to play it off like, oh man, cruise ships, they suck. So boring out there on the sea. I could just imagine, man. It's gotta be awesome. I've never been on a boat. Just being on a boat, I'd be happy with. Be happy if I had a show at like a fishing boat. All right, like Alaska fishing. My name is Rafael Molina. I'm here all week. Benny's, I love it, dude. I love comedy. Open mics are tough though here in LA. There's a lot of them. They're fun, but they're tough. One surprising, dude. This was surprising to me when I first got here. A lot of open mics charge you to get up on stage. So yeah, if you're in LA and you want to start doing comedy, write 5 minutes and carry $5 with you. But that to me was a little shocking. I was like, man, you know, we're already broke. Open micers are the brokest of the comedic pool. But you got to do it, man. Got to show that you really want it. And what better way to do it than by spending those last $5 on it? That's resilience.
So you mentioned, you know, like the early days was a struggle and stuff. Like, what is it like? What was it like when you first started? Like, as far as pay wise, like, how did you like, you know, like, when did you start like progressing to where you notice like, oh, like this is how you like get paid, or how does it go anyways to begin with?
Oh man, pay as a comedian. Well, let's just say the struggle is still there in that in that area. I don't know, man. It's not like you hear about I guess in the '90s, a golden age of comedy. Everybody got paid. Yeah. But no, dude. When I started doing comedy, my first paid gig, it took me about a year and a half, almost 2 years, for me to get my first paid gig. For somebody to go like, hey, you want to do a show? I'll pay you. A whole, like, almost 2 years, dude. And then, you know, yeah, you start getting more and more. But first, you gotta go from a guest spot to a host, and then a feature, and then the headliner, right? So obviously the guest spot doesn't get paid. The host gets a little bit of cash sometimes. Then the feature gets more cash, and then the headliner's a money maker. But it takes a long time, man. Even when I came down here to LA, you know, there's still shows where I'll go up and won't get paid, and you're on the flyer, you're on the marquee, boo. But at the end of the day, if you do comedy, I do comedy not for the money. I do it just because I love it, man. I love the whole process of it. You know, waking up, not knowing where I'm gonna be at, you know, then having to call people, and then the writing process, listening to my old sets, you know, being upset at myself and rewriting, polishing out material at open mics, you know, scraping for $5, you know, so I could go do 5 minutes to try out these new jokes, and then trying out these new jokes at a show where I get a guest spot and don't get paid, or even if it's more than, you know, like if I'm featuring and whatever, dude. It's just, you know, the fun is in doing it, not in getting paid. Because if I'll say this, if you come into comedy thinking that you're gonna get paid right off the bat, then you're gonna be very disappointed. You know, everybody, man. You know, from all the grades that you see even on TV now with their specials, you know, they're not overnight successes. They look like it, but it's because they've been working so hard at it that you're just like, whoa, where did this guy come from? You know, but man, money's not my passion. Money's not what moves me. You know, what moves me is making people laugh and discovering new cities. You know, meeting new people. That's the beauty of this job, man. Of this career. It's not a job. It's this life, man. It's this passion. It's the openness of, you know, you can really make it what you want, and yeah, man. Money's gonna come. You know, I feel. You know, everybody says that. You know, every millionaire, billionaire out there says that if you follow your dreams, you know, if you do what you love, you know, money will come. So, hey, I believe that shit. I'll believe that. I'll believe that stuff, you know, till I die, man, or till it works. I'll manifest.
And another question I ask is, well, where do you see yourself after retirement, and what would you like your legacy to be?
Wow. I hope not to retire from comedy, man. I would love to do it till the day I die. Wouldn't that be cool to die on stage? That'd be a cool legacy to leave behind. This guy murdered himself. Oh man, I don't think you could retire from comedy. You know, like even not doing it for a few days feels awkward. Like, what's wrong with me? You know, I have to go out and do it. But I would love my legacy to be something I would like to leave behind would be, you know, about 10 comedy specials, you know, with HBO. What's up? You know, all of them, you know, with something to say, man. I want to leave a good message. I want to leave the world a better place than what I found it. Make at least say something nice, man. Make a couple of good movies. Have a heartwarming sitcom out there. Give people hope. And just laughs, man. That's what I want my legacy to leave behind. Just laughter and positive vibes, And chubby walks. I want people to go on chubby walks. Look up Chubby Walker, Chubby_Walker, and prepare yourself for some motivation, man. Live your life. That's it, man. I just want to leave the world with something they can go back to and laugh with.
And of course, the big one. How do you get your name out there? How have you gotten, your name out there and stuff? How do you promote yourself? How do you get booked so that, your name is always circulating?
Well, places like this, bro. Obviously social media, on all of it, the Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok for 12-year-olds. I do that once so I could tell the parents where I'm going to be at. What else is there, man? I don't know. All that social media, and it's all under RAF Comedy, RAF Comedy. I book people over the phone. I call bookers. I call friends to call bookers for me if they can. Hey man, can you give a good word for me? Emails. Send out videos of my stand up to people. With the chubby walks, it's a little thing I started, man. Just a little bit, like a little project aside from comedy, where it's like lighthearted, motivational, fitness, like it's just walking. But it's something that I want to use to also get some more, different kind of people to come and check out my comedy, man. Other than that, dude, places like you, man, radio spots where people bring us on and give us a platform to talk to your fans, I would have never, like, there's kids walking around through here listening to me going, who is this guy? But, Rafael Molina, that's who it is. See, I could have never done that anywhere else. This is awesome. Thank you, bro. So, yeah, radio. Hook us up.
Yeah, when I started my community college, we had a much smaller station, and it was something because I was more shy and quiet, and we only had one window. It was like almost that size, but smaller, but it was tinted. So, and the view was outside, and like they'd be like, "No, don't worry, nobody can see you." So, therefore, it's just you and the mic, so you don't have to get nervous.
That's
and now when I transferred here, it's like big old window, the whole wall's a window. Like people could be eating or doing their homework, they're just staring inside.
It's a stress test. See what Rob's got. See what he's got. See what he's made of.
Yeah, so it's so different now, and then I incorporated the cameras. So, because I learned early on, if I had a show that was all talk and I didn't play music, I could just upload the whole thing to YouTube and have a website and put it all up on there.
Okay, so this also goes up on YouTube?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
So that I embed all my videos on my website.
Right on.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
same, man. That's what I'm trying to do. Get the YouTube. But right now I'm only at like 1-2 views. Come on, people. Add rap comedy. I figure it's just like, like my one aunt. Like, oh, look how cute. he's still trying his little comedy thing. But yeah, man. Look, man. I love it. I don't care. I don't care if it's only that one view that I get. So I'm gonna keep chubby walking. Keep putting out my stand-up out there, and one person's laughing, man. I love it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's something that cannot be said about many things in this world.
So you mentioned chubby walking. Where'd you come up with the name? Was it a thing that you weighed a lot more like before, or what?
Well, see, I came up with it, man, because I knew I wanted to get healthier or something. I wanted to just get healthy, man, and I hate exercising. I'm not gonna go to the gym. Can't afford it. I don't want to. It's too much to go to the gym. You have to post it online. So I didn't want to do that stuff. And then, one day I was just walking and smoking, and then I finished my joint, and I was still walking, I started sweating, and I just put two and two together. Said, hey, I'm a chubby walker, and then that's where it started, man. But now like I just wanted to make something fun out of walking, instead of just a regular boring walk. I would tell myself, hey, let's go on a chubby walk, and then aside from sounding crazy on radio, telling myself, let's go on a chubby walk, I would go on chubby walks, and then I just started recording little, because during my chubby walks, I would listen to like Louise Hay, and she's like this very inspirational lady that tells you that I am beautiful, and repeat after me, I am wonderful. So I was doing all this stuff. I was like, I want to make people feel the way this lady's making me feel. Like I can do anything I want. So then that's where the video started, man. Like, hey, chubby walkers, you can do anything you want. Just gotta take one chubby step at a time. Like the best, chubby step forward. And I just incorporate the word chubby to anything that has to do with fitness, and it puts a smile on my face. I've seen it put a smile on other people's faces. So I hope it motivates somebody to go out and walk and enjoy this beautiful earth that we live in.
The time goes by so fast. We have let's see, 8 minutes.
Dude, you
Something
told me
like
you
that?
were just bad at math.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, but I learned early on too, because I was studying, broadcasting and stuff. They're like, oh, make sure like all your screen handles for all social media all is the same name, so that then it's not like difficult to promote yourself. When you use the same name for every type of social media, well, then a bunch of stuff's gonna pop up like on Google when they look you up and stuff. Who have been a lot of your favorites and stuff listening to comedy? Who's been your inspiration and all that?
Man, well, growing up, George Carlin, man, I love George Carlin. Seeing his stand up, seeing him on Bill and Ted's, the movie. Oh man, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and George Carlin, man, Lenny Bruce. When I started doing comedy, I started like researching comedians, and I found Lenny Bruce. He was a comedian in the 50s, man, and this guy fought the government, for. Like, he would always get arrested for being obscene in the 50s, and some of the obscenities back then, were something that now just is like, really? He got busted for, talking bad about Jesus? But this guy, he lost everything fighting the government, and then he died of a heroin overdose. But he was a great comedian, man. There's this one video on YouTube with him, and he does this song. It's awesome. And then he also influenced, like, George Carlin. But Carlin, of course, Richard Pryor, Chris Rock. I liked Chris Rock growing up a lot. Cat Williams, Bernie Mac. I love Bernie Mac. Excuse me. Willie Barcena. He's a comedian here from he's badass, man. He was my mentor. So Willie Barcena for sure, man. Taught me a lot. Who else, bro? Right now, like, I love like Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle. Those guys are awesome, man. I can't, Jim Jeffries, all that stuff. Oh, you know who my favorite one is, though? And it's not that he doesn't do a lot of stand-up lately, but John Oliver, man. I love that guy. I love that guy's show. I love the way I love his comedy, the political smart stuff. I think that guy's hilarious. That's someone I would inspire to be like Jon Stewart. There you go, something like that, dude. Those kind of comedians, comedians that have something to say. Richard Pryor, man, real stuff, but they make it funny, man. They throw it in your face and they make you laugh about it instead of crying about it. So that I think that's a skill. That's a skill that is definitely necessary to be a comedian, man. To turn the worst into something funny, but it takes time. Tragedy plus time equals comedy.
And then tell us about, because you speak Spanish, right?
Yeah.
And so what is it like to be able to, perform even in like Spanish clubs and stuff like that? What's the difference?
Well, see, I just started doing Spanish stand-up. I've only done about 10 shows tops, man, in Spanish, but it is so much different. It's fun, even though, yeah, I'm fluent in Spanish. Sometimes, with your mind racing on stage, you get lost in word and translation. You're like, oh my god, but it's such a different. It's a whole nother animal, man. The dialect is different. The sense of humor in Spanish is different. So, but it's still the same. You gotta go up there and be funny. You gotta be real and funny, man. And these last few times, I actually just did it yesterday. I did a Spanish comedy show yesterday, and bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ate it. I was horrible. I was horrible. I was trying new jokes, and it was just tanked it, man. But before I killed it. I had killed it before 2 times, so I felt cocky. I thought I could do new stuff, and I was gonna be all awesome, and just flat. But it was okay, man. It was okay because then the other comics, they killed it. So we still have the show. We still have the show at the Copper Still. It's the last Sunday of the month, October 26th. Damn, shameless plug, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't even ask for permission.
Well, that's fine. That's part of the show. We I mentioned, what do you have coming up?
Oh, right on, bro. That's funny, dude. That's funny. Well, all right. Now that I put you in that position, I have coming up, man. I have a show in Corona, and then a show in Rancho Cucamonga at Stag's Bar. That's on Saturday, but I forgot the name for the Thursday show in Corona. But I'm sure if you guys look up stand-up comedy in Corona, you guys can definitely find it. Then after that, dude, just chilling for a bit. So if anybody out there needs a cool, awesome comedian, so hit me up on the grams, on the Facebook, Snapchat, all that stuff. Raf Comedy, RAF, the word comedy, because I'm real and funny. So yeah, man, Chubby_Walker on Instagram, because there was already another Chubby Walker, but I'm the original.
Speaking of, using Chubby and stuff, do you follow Gabriel Iglesias too?
No, man. To be honest with you, I don't. I tend to stay away from I get from Latino stand-ups, because I don't want to sound, I don't want to pick up on anything that they may say that'll get stuck in my subconscious. You know what I mean? So I try to keep my head. I really don't listen to a lot of stand-up, to be honest with you, just for that reason. Because I want what comes out of me to be me. And dude, there's so many great stand-ups up there. It's easy for something amazing or something to get stuck in your subconscious, and you unwittingly or unknowingly, blurt it on stage and then get called a hack. And then so I'd rather avoid all that. But I do support every stand-up out there, man, no matter what race, color they are, because we're all brothers in this, brothers and sisters in this. We're all here to make people laugh, and it's one of the hardest things to do, to make people laugh and do it, without without stepping on anybody's toes or doing it the shady way. So I love Gabriel Iglesias. I know he's from here, right? He's from Long Beach.
Yeah.
He's from this school too, right?
Well, I've never had him on, but
from the other school.
I just see his stuff online and stuff sometimes too.
Yeah.
But
hey, man, I'm happy for the dude, man. He made a awesome career out of it, man, and he's helped a lot of other comics too. So yeah, man, more power to him, bro.
time goes by so fast. We have run out of time. But I was wondering, do you have any closing statement for our audience members?
Well, if you're still tuned in, thank you very much. Thank you, Rob, for having me at the Golden Spotlight. Thank you, 88.1 K Beach and 22 West Media. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you. When you sent me the email, dude, I thought this was a joke. I thought I was getting duped and somebody was gonna beat me up or something. Like I thought I hurt somebody's feelings, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get beat up. But I came in here, man. You guys have a beautiful studio. Your people outside were very friendly. So thank you, man. Thank you. All I can say is I'm grateful for it all. Grateful for you guys. Grateful for you, and grateful for what's coming.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, folks.
Yeah.